Well, good morning, everybody out there. Welcome to Hobby Hotline, episode number 284. And of course, you guys know me. I'm King NASCAR. And with me today is Victor, the rookie card specialist, and Stale Gum, our good buddy Chris. How you guys doing?
All right.
Great.
So, I wasn't scheduled to actually be the engineer today. I'm actually pinch hitting, so bear with me. I will do the best that I will actually do very well. So
Yes,
everything's going to be great. So I haven't seen you guys in a while. How was your holiday?
Pretty good.
I was
Pretty
sick,
good.
so not good.
I did
still
not do
getting
much.
over a sinus infection, so
Yikes. That is not good.
no.
So we've already got a lot of comments this morning. Let me share a few comments. Mad City Brew, good morning. What's everybody think of the new Tops design? We're going to talk about that here in a minute.
Just a sec.
Yep. Frank, good morning, Frank. Philly Joe. Okay, he likes it. That's good. All right. And Mad City Brew, same here. Yeah, a lot of people are liking it. Good morning, Phil Joe. Going down through here. Hey, here's Mark Hoyle. Hey, Mark. Hope you're doing better. Good morning. We got TJ, and good morning to him. And Ziggy. Hey, Ziggy. What's going on, man? Happy New Year. And like I said, I'm just going through everything here real quick. Bob Boozle. Will 2024 Topps yield rookie card controversies for Victor to dissect?
Yeah, I've started getting hit last night with DMs and questions, and it's fun. Yeah, we'll get into it.
Okay, cool, man. White Sox Tom. Hey guys. Okay, cool. So let's start out with kind of an icebreaker. The NFL playoffs. What do you guys think? What are your predictions? What do you think about the fact that it's on? We've got one game on just strictly on Peacock.
Yeah, that's something different.
Which game is that? I'm sorry.
It's the Kansas City Miami game tonight.
Okay,
is
that's
on Peacock now. If you live in the Kansas City and Miami areas, it's going to be on over-the-air TV. But for the rest of America, yes, you have to sign up for a $5.99 a month streaming service to watch it. Look, I mean, this is where TV is going. This is where sports is going. The Thursday night game is on Amazon Prime now. As a soccer fan, the whole MLS was sold to Apple TV last year. The service is great, by the way. You get every game, no blackouts, but it's where TV sports is going now. And what's interesting is that I actually read something about the NBA's media rights are up at the end of the year, and they're in negotiation right now. And they're looking to put some games on streaming. And I know that next season NASCAR is going to put some races on Amazon Prime. So this is where everything's going. It's going towards streaming.
Yeah, going forward in the future, your internet connection is going to be everything. It's going to be where you do all your social media. It's going to be all the streaming. It's going to be everything. You're not going to have a cable box per se. You're just going to be using your internet now to pick and choose what you want to watch.
Yeah, it's the dawn of a new era for sure with television. I don't have any vested interest in any of these teams. My beloved Bears are definitely not in it, right? We do have the Packers and the Cowboys. That game really intrigues me. So I'm as a Bears fan, I'm really pulling for the Cowboys, right? Obviously. And then my surprise team that has really impressed me this year is the Lions. I was able to watch a couple of games with them. Their defense looks really, really good. So I'm anticipating watching that game. But they have Matthew Stafford for the Rams, who is ex Detroit Lion. So that's a very interesting game as far as the drama of it all. Who's going to take it all? I have no idea.
No, I have no idea whatsoever either. I have no horse in this race at all, and I really don't. Going back to the streaming part, you know, the thing I don't. There's one thing I don't like about it is, of course, you're listening to the announcers on there going, "Oh, it's such a great thing and it's so good," and blah blah blah. But what they're basically doing is if you really have an interest in watching this game and watching Taylor Swift, they're forcing you to buy this streaming service, and I don't like that. I don't like being forced into something like that. So that's the problem I have with it. My wife uses Peacock. She watches Days of Our Lives on Peacock, and that's the only reason she's got it. And I guess we could probably use her account to do it, but I still don't like that idea of having it rammed down my throat, so to speak.
I'm wondering if you purchased the NFL package at the beginning of the season. I'm sure you get all the games. I'm assuming.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. But then they're forcing you to get the package. Right?
Yeah.
Yep, they sure are. So either way,
yeah.
you're going to have to get, if you really want to watch it, you got to get it. Unfortunately.
Right.
So I guess with that being said, let's switch topics real quick. There's a lot of buzz right now about the 2023 Topps Series 1 baseball design. I actually have a picture here of that somewhere. And I will put that up here on the screen real quick. So there it is. That's what it looks like. I actually grabbed this off of, I think, Blowout's page. So what do you guys think?
It's different. It's I think I'm growing to like it. With the neon, it's definitely different. I also like the black and white gradient borders. It's kind of a, I don't know, 1986-ish. If comment, it looks like a 70s adult video neon box. Kind of does. Not that I would know anything about that.
Like what Bob Boozle says.
But one thing I'm hearing is that there are a lot of folks that looked at this and said, "Oh God, it's black borders. It's not going to gem." Who cares? I mean, if you're really concerned that Topps base cards are, why are you even submitting Topps base cards anyway? I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's too expensive to do base cards anymore.
Well, a lot. I get that controversy, but I'm on the side of if a player pops, if let's just say Evan Carter here pops and he does something spectacular, these base rookies are going to hold value in the secondary market. But but it's we gotta be smart about sending in the right. It's not anything and everything, but maybe when a player does pop, when he does something that is worthy, then I would say, yeah, why not? I don't think it's a big deal to grade those types of cards.
I don't think so either. I have a lot of black border cards that there's a lot in racing, and I get those graded all the time. There's like the 89 winners.
But the complaints were that because it's black bordered, it won't get a 10.
Yeah, I
well
know.
Okay,
that's true.
Who cares?
I mean, it's going to be more, it's going to be challenging, right? To kind of not chip those or that sort of thing. But you'll have some that gem. I mean, I love the design personally. I thought of, I call it the Jay Lee sports card design from Sports Cards Live. It's kind of just reminded me of his logo has that neon thing. And, I did like, I don't know, I was kind of confused with a couple of things. The first one is the original photo that was released seemed to have like a really big border around it. But then other photos, and I don't know if they've been photoshopped or what, seem to have like a thinner border around it. So I don't know what's up with that. Yeah, this seems to be like a more standard border, right? But
Yes.
the original photo released by Topps had a much wider border.
And you're talking about the Ellie De La Cruz.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
It did have a slightly thicker border. Well, we'll see.
Another thing that was going around was right above the team emblem, there appeared to be what is called a first card. And the photo that I saw was with the Ellie De La Cruz. Right above the team logo, there was a first card designation. What the heck is that about?
I
What you guys' take on that?
see that.
You didn't see that? Yeah. I don't know if that's like a right. You got to determine the source. Where is this photo coming from? Right.
Now, I'm looking at Beckett right now, and I don't see a first.
Yeah, I was going
anywhere on the De La Cruz card.
It was going around on Twitter last night. I got into some discussions about that. I don't know what that means. I wish Topps would maybe share that information with us. What is up with that? Why are we having rookie cards now with the rookie card logo and a first card designation? And I looked at Beckett database. Ellie De La Cruz has almost 2,000 cards already released of him.
Yeah. And he should have had his rookie card in last
year's product. Thank you. So. Thank you, Chris. Ay, people killing me. But I guess I got to determine, is that even real, and what is up with that? I'm assuming it's like the first edition release that they did last year. I'm assuming that's what this is, but I don't know. Maybe somebody in the chat knows.
Well, when I look at it, I'm thinking of hot donuts now. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Krispy Kreme. But I like it, honestly. I think it's a great design. I think they did a good job with it.
I mean, it's original. You know, we haven't seen a neon border like this before. So I'll tip my cap to Mr. Fullerton and the gang in charge of a flagship.
Yeah.
So as for the rest of the product, apparently we're getting another 1980s reprint, this 100 card 1989 insert. Who cares? Blaster boxes will no longer have a Manu relic, but what they will have is more parallels, because apparently Topps needed more parallels, and apparently these are springtime parallels. So there's going to be let me see, egg parallels, rabbit parallels, flower parallels, umbrella parallels. Yeah, it's like,
oh God.
If the one thing that this product didn't need is more, I kind of feel like, you remember the More Cowbell skit from Saturday Night Live, right? Will Ferrell hitting the cowbell. Christopher Walken says, "I got a fever, and the only prescription are more parallels." And the thing is that, and those of us that go to card shows, we kind of know this now. Most of these parallels, nobody really even wants. Am I right?
Yeah,
I don't.
I like base cards because I'm old school.
Do you want a parallel of a rabbit, of even if it's a 1 in 56 pack hit, with rabbits in the background?
That's kind of weird. I hear you. I mean, if that's the case, how about peanuts, Cracker Jacks, hot dogs?
Well, let's not give them any ideas. Okay.
All right. All right.
Yeah, I'm off on a two emoji.
I do like the fact that the base set's back to 350 cards as opposed to 330.
Also, they're making it bigger, huh?
A little bit bigger.
Okay.
It's not as big as I think it should be.
Yeah.
You know, if we could get a 792 card set in the 80s, why isn't it 792 now?
Yeah.
Yeah, pork roll parallels. Please don't give them any ideas, because you know they're going to do that. You guys don't get pork roll where you live, do you?
No.
No.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Philadelphia, Jersey thing. Let's see, what else can we complain about in Series 1?
At least you're honest.
Yeah, 89 inserts, who cares? All Tops team, okay. Greatest hits, okay. There's a 24 card tribute to Ken Griffey Jr., which I think they did 3 or 4 years ago, but we're doing it again. Grand Gamers, whatever they are, Heavy Lumber, which I guess are the super scarce. Home Field Advantage is back, yay. Stars of MLB are in retail packs, so look for them to be clogging up 50-cent boxes everywhere for the next couple of years. Nothing really special. I mean,
How about SSPs, Chris?
well, they're doing what they did last year and essentially making it a full parallel. And identifying it on the back in big bold letters. This is a short print. So I guess you could justify not collecting them by treating them as a parallel. So
Now, at first, I heard rumblings that they were going to have SPs for the entire set.
yeah, that's what they did last year.
Yeah, but I guess now they've retracted from that. They're not going to do that in 2024.
That's not what I heard. I think they're back. Only I think that they are.
Yeah, Michael Moynihan, I think the guy that works for Fanatics, he ended up squashing the rumors on the SSPs. And yeah, that's just what I heard.
Okay, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah,
so
yeah. You have
see
to
what it
verify that.
is.
What do you think of the SSP concept? Do you like it, Chris?
They're dumb.
You don't like it?
I mean,
I
the
think
way
they have,
the Tops used to do it.
I think they have
flagship.
They have better pictures on them. I like the photo images on them.
Well, why do there have to be 2 different cards of the same player?
Yeah.
And why did I have to? And look, they did take care of this problem, but why do I have to like turn the card over, break out a magnifying glass,
right,
and decipher some kind of cryptic code,
right,
in order to figure out what card that I have?
Right.
And what does that also say about the product, that you feel the need that you have to have this in the set in order for people like us to be able to collect it?
Yeah. I think they're just trying to spice it up because of the print run is so large.
Well,
they're trying to
does it
spice
need
it up
it though?
with short prints, right?
Does it really need it?
I hear you.
Chris is dressed like Mrs. Roper today. Really?
What's it say? Just keep your shirt on, Chris. Don't worry.
It's actually a Philadelphia Union jersey. So
I want to go to a comment that John made. This comment right here: 10x the hobby means 10x dumbing down the hobby. This was something I actually had on my mind before we started the show today. I want to pose the question to you guys. We're hearing that, I hear it from everywhere that 10x in the hobby is a good thing. I don't think so. I think that 10x in the hobby is going to make, there's going to be more hobby greed. You're going to have higher prices on certain cards because everybody's going to be going after certain things. Things are going to be artificially inflated. In my opinion, 10x in the hobby is not a good thing. I mean, what do you guys think? Yeah.
Go ahead, Vic.
I don't think
I'm not on that bandwagon. I'll be honest with you.
I don't think we're not ready
Go
for 10xing the hobby right now. Maybe a goal to strive for, but I think there's just too much with everything going on with licensing, with the miscues that we're currently having, with the printing backlog that we have. I don't think we're in a position for 10xing the hobby. I think that's just more corporate talk, kind of coming in, shooting for the stars, seeing what sticks type of thing. I'm not a big fan of the 10x philosophy. Let's just see what happens.
Well, when we're saying 10x the hobby, 10xing what? Are we 10xing the number of collectors?
Yeah.
Or are we 10xing just revenues here? I mean, either way, if you want to 10x the hobby, you're going to have to start printing up more products. I mean, you're going to have to go to basically junk wax era levels of production on most products, even premium products, or even super premium products, or even, these 100, 500,000, well, maybe not junk wax levels of production on those, but, a product like tier 1, 3 hits in a box, $70 a box. You're going to have to make a lot more of that if you're going to 10x revenues. I do want to give a sneak preview because I kind of do address this issue in my Hobby News Daily column for January, which I haven't submitted yet, but I will. I talk about the Tom Brady baseball card that came out. And it got a lot of hype. I like that. I love that. I love the concept of this card, even though it's a gimmick. And I also love the marketing campaign behind it, especially that video they made with Guerrero, Pedro Martinez, and Larry Walker in a bar in Montreal, reminiscing about all the World Series titles that their captain, their catcher, Tom Brady brought. And I imagine you're not a card collector, but imagine you're a big Tom Brady fan, right? And you see this ad and you have to have that card. You don't ordinarily collect cards, but you need this one. So you buy a box of cards, and these card boxes aren't cheap. I mean, the lowest price I found for Bowman Draft is like $560 at David Adams, right? So you send off your $560 to David Adams, you get the box, you rip open the packs, you get a bunch of players that you've never heard before because, it's Bowman Draft. You don't understand how some of the cards have different border colors, and some of the cards are printed on regular paper stock, and some of the cards are printed on this shiny metal stock. But at the end of the day, you don't get your Brady card. So, okay, fine. I'll send another $560 to DNA. I'll get another box. Surely I have to get a Tom Brady card. And you don't. And now you're $1,100 in the hole. You do not have a Tom Brady card. You kind of feel like you've been had a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of feel like a bit of a chump. Making potential and I hope someone at Fanatics is listening to this. If you want to 10x the hobby, forget about 10x. If you want to 2x the hobby, do not make potential customers look like chumps.
That's a good point, because I remember back during when the Billy Ripken era came out back in the day, and I didn't even know anything about it until my boss at the computer center runs back to the shop and has this USA Today article about it, and he goes, "I want one." So he was all excited. It's kind of the same kind of thing, but all I think that 10x in the hobby is going to do is trying to 10x Fanatics executives' pockets, and
yeah,
that's how I look at it. To me, as a collector, I don't think 10xing is a good thing. I think that now the cards that I'm looking for, the Grail cards, are going to be harder because I've got other people wanting, and this may sound greedy, but I've got other collectors looking for this same card. I may not be able to get this card. It's kind of like what you were talking about, Chris. I may not be able to get that card that I really, really want because there's so many people out there. And I just don't think it's a good thing, honestly.
I think the cost of product today, and we've seen it even with the Prism basketball that is soon to release. I think it came out at what, $900 a box. Don't quote me on that, but that's outrageous, right? And it almost seems like they are curtailing to the collector that has deep pockets, right? And it seems like the silent majority who can't afford that type of price for a box are being kind of left behind. But I think what they're doing is more like they're trying to absorb the secondary market, the profit that's left on the table from the secondary market. So it's kind of like a two-edged sword there, because if they list them for $350 and the secondary market immediately goes at $1,000 a box, well, they're leaving that money on the table, and I think it's more of a, trying to absorb that profit for themselves instead of giving it to the secondary market. But I don't know who can afford, those types of boxes, except a distinct few in the hobby, and that have those types of deep pockets. I think the rest of us, I don't know if settle on retail boxes. I don't know. I don't really get into the new product too much, but the majority, the silent majority, they're going to be stuck either buying singles at the secondary market or just settling for retail product, which is not going to be as fruitful as the first off the line product, right? But it's, to me, it's crazy, but it's kind of the reality of things right now.
I think that there's going to be a lot more product, which I'm not in favor of. And we'll probably head to, eventually it'll be a junk wax 2.0 era. That's kind of the way it's going to go, I think, if you 10x the hobby. And I want folks to get into the hobby for the right reasons, not the get rich quick reasons, and not the flipper / hype beast mentality. I don't like that. I honestly do not like that. Of course, again, I've been collecting since 1971, so I'm just a collector. People ask me all the time, "Hey, man, what do you think your collection is worth?" I'm like, I have no idea. I collect because I love it, and it's fun.
Yeah.
So as long as people get into it for the right reasons, I guess I have less of a problem with it. But I think what you're going to find out is, like this Tom Brady card, that's all over the place. It's like what Chris said. Everybody's going to want to try to chase it. And then again, when they don't get it, they're going to be upset. They're going to leave the hobby.
Going to feel like they got burned.
Yeah, exactly. Spending all this money on these boxes. I can remember when I was a kid buying 72 tops, buying a box of 72 tops. I could buy a box of 72 tops for $2.40 or whatever. I think there were 24 packs and 10 cents. I mean, you could earn that kind of money by doing chores around the neighborhood, but you can't buy boxes now by doing chores around the neighborhood. It's just not, you just can't do it. So
yeah, I failed to mention this, but the Brady card is like a 1 in every 2,700 pack hit.
Wow.
So, and you only get 12 packs in a box for your $550. So, yeah. 10X in the hobby, baby.
Yeah. X, baby. Yeah, like I said, we'll see what happens. I don't think it's achievable. I don't think you're going to get enough people in here to sustain that kind of level. I think the collectors that you have now, it's kind of like Dr. Beckett says, you want to see a gradual increase. You don't want to see this quick jump from now to next year having 10 times the collectors, because if you do, 9X of them are going to leave, or whatever. So I just don't think it's feasible. I don't think it's good for the hobby, honestly.
I like Rex makes a couple of good comments there. If you want to highlight those, Logan.
All right.
Coming from a card shop owner himself, the guy who's in the front lines, right? So those opinions are typically carry some weight for me. Right around the 10:30 a.m. mark.
This is this one right here. Yeah, Rex says that 10X is not achievable in his opinion. In his circle of friends and family, almost all of them are sports fans of some sort. Some even gamble on sports, but only a small percentage have interest in collecting. And that's true. I mean, I know a lot of sports fans that, I'll mention collecting to them and they're like, I don't care about that. That's not what I want to do. I mean, I think you have to have that collecting gene, like Dr. Beckett says. Is Chris muted?
I think I was kicked off for just a brief second.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, I heard the little ding. So what else you guys want to talk about real quick?
Well, we got a couple of contract announcements, some big names switching things up.
Oh yeah, we got Tiger Woods, and we've got LeBron and little Bronny.
Yeah.
So what do y'all think about that dual autographed card with LeBron and Bronny?
Well, most of us are never going to be able to collect that card because it's a 1 of 1.
Right. Gimmick.
I'm pretty sure that they're going to be much more attainable parallels of that card. But this is kind of big because LeBron James has been exclusive to Upper Deck for really since the beginning of his career. And now, for the first time, he's going to be signing for another company. Now, granted, this company doesn't have the NBA license yet, not until I believe 2026. Fanatics gets the license back, but I think we can expect to see LeBron James autographs, not just in basketball products with his son, but I think we'll see a lot of LeBron James cards in a lot of the baseball sets this year. I think he's a shoo-in for Allen and Ginter. I think a few other high-end products you might see him in, like maybe a triple threads or maybe a tier 1, or even might even be a transcendent autograph. Granted, he won't be in his NBA uniform. I believe that the dual autograph with his son depicts him in his high school uniform. I'm sure that high school is making out pretty well with the licensing. But, it's kind of a changing of the guard. I mean, Upper Deck has lost the NBA license, what, in 2010? And what have they done with LeBron over the last dozen or so years? I mean, really the only LeBron autographs you can find were in products like Goodwin Champions or Gaudy. So
Yeah, they'll probably put him on an F1 release as well. There'll be some kind of deal where he's in an F1 race or something. And
yeah.
we'll have an F1.
He'll be in with all the
car.
other celebrities that show up, walk the paddock, and take a picture. And
I think I think it's a big signing too. It really is. It's huge. I think he's following his son, and I love that story. Right, he's kind of like bringing his son along, kind of thing. I love that. But I do think this is more like it's a gimmick. This dual card, right? And it seems like the pattern that Fanatics is using is have that big card, that real big chase, and that's going to generate the sell of the product. Except the problem is when you pull the big card on the first day of release,
yeah,
that plan kind of backfires on you, right? But now it begs the question: what about Jordan? I don't think Jordan is kind of committed to his brands, and Nike and Upper Deck have been his.
yeah.
I don't see him moving. I hope he does. Don't get me wrong. It would be awesome, but at least for the immediate, I don't see it happening.
Me neither.
Yeah, and of course, Michael Jordan, he co-owns a NASCAR Cup team as well with Denny Hamlin, and they just built this really nice new state-of-the-art shop. You should see pictures of it. It's quite impressive. So I would love to see more cards, but they're not going to be able to do anything. Panini won't be able to do anything with that license of Michael Jordan, so we won't have any Michael Jordan cards in NASCAR. It would be cool. So what about Tiger Woods switching or leaving Nike? Did he leave voluntarily, or was this a something that Nike said bye-bye? I mean, I don't know.
Did they sign his son? Did Nike sign his son? I mean, I don't.
I don't know.
I don't see how they would let this guy walk away. It had to be something that he wanted, because he's still active in golf. His son is an up and coming to the league. Why would they let him go? I don't know. There's more to that story, I believe.
Was Nike really getting its money's worth though with Tiger Woods? I mean, I read that over the 27 years that Tiger was part of Nike, they paid him almost $500 million.
Wow.
How many golf shoes did they sell?
Yeah.
Or red shirts?
Great point.
How many golf balls and drivers did Nike sell during that period? I mean, I think Nike was in golf before Tiger, but all they made were shoes and apparel, but they didn't make equipment. And I think years ago, Tiger stopped using Nike equipment. Right. I don't even think Nike even makes clubs anymore. So
the return on investment is just not there for Tiger.
Yeah.
Because the marketing stuff doesn't really sell too much with golf.
Yeah. You don't see people wearing,
right,
Air Tiger 1s or whatever.
That's a great point.
Yeah, catching up on some of these comments. I'm way behind on some of them. I'm going to go back to a comment that I saw. Let's see. I thought I had started. But looking at some of these comments, John says, I would think Nike paid Tiger more than $500 million. I would too. I think it's probably more than that. I mean, because, I remember a time when they were talking about Tiger Woods being the first billionaire athlete.
Not only that, the liability of what Tiger has been the last, decade or so, the
Yeah.
fires that Nikes have had to put out
Mhm.
with all of his personal stuff, right?
Very true.
He really hasn't played much over the last decade either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
this.
comment. Nike stopped making clubs in 2016-17.
Wow.
Yeah,
So it's been a while now.
So the handwriting was on the wall back
pretty
then.
much.
Yeah.
He
All
plays
right.
a limited schedule. Nike's not getting much exposure if he doesn't play.
That's very true.
Yep.
Because he always wears that Nike shirt and Nike hat. I'm sure he's got Nike underwear.
And what other golfers wear Nike gear? You know? I don't.
I don't watch golf enough to know. So where did he go? What was the shoe company that Tiger went to?
I
know
don't know.
It was a
I
different.
think he started playing TaylorMade clubs. But as far as apparel and shoes, I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if Fanatics goes and pursues Tiger Woods. He's still a big name. He's still a GOAT.
But he's
He is.
also Upper Deck exclusive.
The body
But,
of work.
you know,
Oh, he's also Upper Deck exclusive. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
he's wearing FootJoys.
So with
Okay.
all of these, with LeBron and everything leaving Upper Deck and everything, do you guys think that this is also a play by Fanatics to kind of put the hurt on Upper Deck? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Go ahead, Victor.
I don't know, man. Possibly.
Yeah, because they're playing some hardball. So
You don't think that Fanatics wouldn't want the trading card rights to Tiger Woods?
I'm
I
sure they
would.
would.
I'm sure they
They
would.
want everything. Why not? I mean, let's add Tiger Woods to the portfolio. Let's throw enough money at Michael Jordan, see if he budges. Who knows? I mean, it seems like there's a lot of money being thrown around to get these elite athletes to sign with Fanatics.
Yeah,
So
I mean, Fanatics wants to be the end all be all. They want to be the Amazon.com for sports. And they're winning for now.
For now, I just don't see that. I don't know how that trend can continue, but we will see. Let's see. Wonder if Rolex has dropped Tiger yet. I do not know. Has anybody heard? You guys know anything about that?
It's a good question. What are Tiger Woods'?
Well, he's got a lot of high dollar sponsors. So Chris is Googling. We'll move on. Yeah, he's wearing FootJoy shoes. That's it. Thanks, Frank. Appreciate that. Payless shoes. I like that. Let's see.
He has a lucrative deal with Monster Energy.
Chris froze. His internet connection not doing so well. This is I think an episode of The Matrix.
Energy uses TaylorMade clubs.
Gotcha. Yeah, you froze up there for a second, Chris.
Am I back now?
Yeah,
you're back now.
All right. So Tiger has deals with Monster Energy, Rolex, Bridgestone tires, Upper Deck, and 2K Sports, according to the Sun. I feel kind of bad reading the Sun, but that was the only one that came up. But anyway.
Yeah, I like this comment. Fanatics should just focus on putting out the many fires that in the production market and in the marketing departments.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. There's been a lot of issues, a lot of stuff being backdoored somehow with people getting out with some of these cards. That's that's bad for the hobby. And let me tell a quick story. Back in the 80s, of course, Donruss manufactured here in Memphis, and I was at one of the LCSs, and this lady walks in asking the shop owner if he bought cards. And he said, "Yeah, it just depends on what you got." She literally reaches into her bra and pulls out these autographed Cal Ripken Jr. cards, a stack of them. And the owner goes, "I'm sorry, I'm not interested." But apparently this woman had worked at Donruss downtown, and just, "Hey, here's a stack of Cal Ripken Jr. autograph cards. I'm going to stick these down here and see what I can do with them because I heard they're valuable." So that kind of thing's been going on for quite some time, and it it's sometimes it's very hard to control because you can't there's only so many body places you can I think you can search.
Yeah.
Especially these days, you just can't go in and invade somebody's space. So but what do y'all think about all these production problems that are going on right now as far as production, and then things getting backdoored and people showing up on eBay with all these one of ones that it would take you thousands of cases to hit?
I think they need to get a handle on it immediately.
They
That's
do.
what they need to do.
I mean, the thing that I don't understand is if you're fencing a lot of these backdoored ones of one, why would you put them all on eBay at the same time, like a week before the product's release? I mean, you're basically, that's just not smart. I mean, you put a little bit out every, if not that I would know anything about trafficking in stolen cards on eBay or anything, but if I did, I'd be smart enough to not, put them all out at once.
Well, nobody said that these people were smart that are stealing things. So, and that's usually the case. We've got some of the dumbest criminals here in this city, so we see it every night on the news. So, generally, if you're dumb enough to steal, then you're going to be dumb enough to expose yourself, I think. So, and that's what's going on. Some of these people are just that stupid. But I don't like it. I think it's a bad look for the hobby. Again, it shows more hobby greed, in my opinion, because people think, "Oh, these cards are worth this, and so I better see if I can steal them and sell them and make some money." And that kind of goes back to the 10xing thing. People in the hobby for the wrong reason, and that's bad.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we have a history of when bad actors get caught like that, it's just like a slap on the hand and go away, like it's no big deal. Even in taking the route of justice, it's what a year probation is what they get. But I do believe we've had some more serious offenses here in the last year or so that have actually led to prison sentences. And I think that's going to be when that has to be when the consequences match the crime, right? That's when things are going to change. But until
I
then,
totally agree.
when all we do is slap on a hand and 6 months probation, it doesn't move the needle.
Well, of course, I keep going back to living here in Memphis, but that's exactly what's going on here with the criminals. They get caught, and they know that all they have to do is post bail or whatever. They're going to be out the next day. So there's nothing to stop them, no deterrent, no anything to stop them from going out and just continually doing these bad things. And you're right, the hobby is has a very short-term memory, and is also very forgiving, and people forget real quick about all these controversies and all these people doing these bad things and stuff. So until, like, you're right, until there's some consequences for your actions, it's gonna keep happening.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, we have that problem with crime here right now, and until we can get a handle on it in the hobby, It's never going to change, unfortunately.
And I think most of the schemes and most of the theft is all happening with amongst collectors. It's collectors that have gone bad, right? They
Yeah.
kind of know what to go for. They kind of know how to move it, and I don't know. It's crazy.
It's the allure of easy money.
Mhm.
It is the allure of easy money. And and that goes back to a lot of hype, because you see on the news somebody has got this card that's worth X number of dollars, and they got it out of a new pack and things, and people are going, oh, I can get rich quick, oh yeah, I want to go do this. And it's I hate that, because the hobby for me has never been motivated by money. It's always been motivated by fun for me. Ever since I started opening my very first pack of cards. So that's, I think, if you're going to be if you're a collector, you've got the collecting gene already in you. I think I got it from my grandma, because my grandma was a collector. And so that's kind of where I stand with that. Let's see, let's catch up real quick on some comments. See, TJ says all major pack pulls of late advertised on top of social media, have all been breaker related. Yeah, and that's another crazy thing that's going on right now with these breakers.
Who do you think buys the bulk of these products now?
Oh, I know.
It's not collectors, it's breakers.
Yeah, but the collectors are supporting the breakers. So so quit supporting these breakers. We'll they're doing these bad things, and maybe we'll have some good stuff going on in the hobby, because unfortunately there's a lot of shady stuff going on there, which could be a whole episode of Hobby Hotline there by itself. Let's see. Yeah, talking about vintage, up here, Joseph says vintage collecting is the only way to go in the hobby now. I'm a vintage guy. I don't collect a lot of baseball, but I do have some vintage baseball cards, and I used to collect baseball cards until I sold them back a long time ago, and went to doing NASCAR. But yeah, I'm a vintage kind of guy. I love vintage. I think you can't go wrong with it.
I'm really torn on this idea. I really struggle, and I'm kind of on the fence. I mean, I have vintage, collector of vintage, but at the same time, I also like collecting rookie cards of hot players today. I love guys who are in the 5 to 10 year range that are headed. They're not in the Hall of Fame, but they're headed towards the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? I enjoy collecting the cards of players that I enjoy watching today. So it's that's a struggle for me to be like pro vintage only. I believe in being pro vintage, but I also like the modern day players too, I guess.
Well, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Because being a NASCAR collector, that's all I have is newer stuff. So that's the way I have to roll. But I enjoy it. Unfortunately, it seems like we haven't had as many issues lately to try to collect. I think that's going to change in 2024. So that'll be a good thing to look forward to. Let's see. White Sox Tom says flippers ruin the hobby. I will say that flippers may be a necessary evil for the hobby because they find the stuff that the collectors buy. So that's kind of the way that I think that goes. Let's see here. TJ says, "Amen, Victor. I'm 100% vintage, but buy modern Allen and Ginter with his son. They love opening packs together. That's a cool thing. That's my son. He's 32 years old, and he came over here for Christmas morning, and I had packs of cards in his stocking, and we opened up his cards. So that was fun. That's
Nice.
Always a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Bob Boozle says flippers don't bother him. Scammers do. Yes. Well, yes. Scammers are they're bad for the hobby. We've had them forever. It just seems like with social media, they get highlighted more now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's unfortunate. What do you guys think about all that?
About
About the scammers in the hobby, real quick.
Scammers and everything. You know,
That's
you
true.
just gotta be smart. Something's too good to be true. It probably is.
That is so true. You know, I'll always I see a lot of fake Dale Earnhardt Sr. autographs on eBay, and people are always asking me or Val, you know, is this real or not? And of course, we look at we can tell pretty quick if it's real or not. So yeah, there's a lot of people trying to make a quick buck by scamming for sure. Real quick, I've got the official Boston Terrier of Hobby Hotline just showed up.
All right.
Say hi, Bella. There you go. All right. All right. I guess one of the things I do have, it's kind of a personal thing with me and Val on our show on NASCAR Radio. We're kind of taking a cue from Victor on his baseball card Hall of Fame. We're doing a racing card Hall of Fame, and I'll show you the QR code we've got real quick. I'll talk about it. We're currently doing a racing card Hall of Fame. We've got 40 cards on the ballot, and you can vote for your top 10 cards. We took all the nominees that were submitted by all of our listeners and watchers from NASCAR Radio. But anyway, if you want to go out there and vote, check it out. It's bit.ly/RCHOF ballot. And it's going to ask you for a password. And the password is RCHOF in all caps. So go out there, check it out. If you guys like racing and like racing cards, we'd appreciate you guys voting for the Racing Card Hall of Fame. That would be really, really cool.
Now, is this exclusively just NASCAR cards? You're not going to have like Formula One or
no? That's a good question, NASCAR. Chris. No, okay. It's all racing. It could be cars from even airplane racing. There were none nominated, but we've got Formula One, we've got drag racing, we've got NASCAR on there. So it's the racing car. It's not the NASCAR Card Hall of Fame. It's the Racing Card Hall of Fame. But again, like I said, we took a cue from Victor on doing that.
Well, yeah, no, and it's the Sports Card Hall of Fame Network. It was actually started by Ray Fonio. But I love the concept. I wish you would have said something. We would have loved to partner with you in this endeavor, and we could have really. I just found out about it here recently, but keep that in mind in the future. But I love the concept because I always am intrigued with getting certain cards, like racing, for instance. I don't have any, to be honest with you, but I wouldn't mind dabbling in if I just only knew what to get.
Right.
I would love to pick up a card and add it to my PC. And I think this avenue, this is why I'm really looking forward to the result, because it's what the hobby says, right? It's what the hobby has deemed as the best cards for this genre. And I'm really looking forward to that, so I can go out and pick up a couple of cards.
So yeah, we with that being said, we've had the racing card community completely involved with this ever since the inception of it. We took nominations from everybody, and then we have a 5-panel crew that we went through, and we took all the nominations, and like if there were certain cards that everybody nominated, and there were certain cards that very few got nominated. So we actually went by the vote totals and the nomination totals of how many cars were nominated. Then that's how we made our list of 40, and because I think we had a list of like 83 cards total, but we narrowed it down to the 40, and then of course now we're going to narrow it down to the 10 with the first class in 2024 of the Racing Card Hall of Fame. So
exciting, awesome.
So it's going to be fun. It's and again, we used your idea with the Google Docs. That worked out very, very well.
There you go.
So I like that. Like I said, I kind of stole a lot of it from you guys.
Imitation is the highest form of flattery, right?
Yeah. We appreciate you guys doing the hard work on the front end, and we just kind of copied it.
But good luck to you on that.
All right, thanks. Well, it looks like we're getting close to the end here, guys. We've had a great show. You guys have any parting comments, anything, where people can find you on social media, that kind of thing? Go ahead, Victor. I'll let you go first.
Yeah, Victor, I can be found anywhere at true_RCS, on any social media platform. Glad to be on today. Thank you, everybody. The chat was just on fire today. And have a great weekend, everybody. Happy football watching, right?
All
Chris?
right. Kind of happy we were able to squeeze out an hour. Running shorthanded. So, hopefully my column for Hobby News Daily will be out this week. It's a little late because I've been sick and the holidays. I got nothing else. Follow me at Stale Gum on whatever Elon's calling it now. Baseballcardpedia.com for all your baseball card reference needs.
Fabulous website.
Keep on rocking in the free world. And I think I'm on in 3 weeks. First week of February, I'll be back on Hobby Hotline. Who do we have on next week?
I am not sure. I have not looked at the schedule.
I can look it up. Hold on.
Chris is going to look it up. And while he's looking that up, I want to thank everybody in the chat, everybody for watching today. I appreciate all you guys. We all do. You can find me. I'm at King NASCAR on Twitter mostly. You can find me on Facebook, but I don't talk about much of the hobby on Facebook. All my hobby stuff's on Twitter. And we also do NASCAR radio with Val Mars and myself. So check that out. And also check out the Racing Card Hall of Fame.
All right. And 1 week from today, we'll have Danny Black, Mike Moynihan, and Adam from Heroes for Sale.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah, good lineup.
All right.
All right, guys. I thank you guys for really helping me out today with all this engineering and everything that I was doing. And with that, we will check you folks later.
All right. Go Birds.